Item 10B, adopt a resolution accepting the recommendation from the Culture and Arts Commission to change the location for the installation of the Centennial Mosaic Mural from Sneath Lane to Posey Park and authorize a project change order of $6,400 from the city's art fund.
Good evening, Mayor Wayne, members of the City Council. I'm John Alita. I'm the Assistant Community Services Director, and I'm here this evening seeking your approval of a recommendation from the Culture and Arts Commission to relocate the Centennial Art Project from its proposed location on Sneath Lane to Posey Park, and asking your authorization for a change order of $6,400 from the city's art fund. Before I delve into the presentation, I just want to acknowledge that the chair of the Culture and Arts Commission, Tammy Parker, is here this evening, as well as Commissioner Melody Tobin. In terms of background related to this item, on April 18th of this year at the City Council meeting, you approved a recommendation for a design concept for the Centennial Art Project, as well as awarding a contract to the selected artist, Margarita Sofirtis. And at that time, as I said, the project was recommended to be placed on 2 retaining walls along Sneath Lane. At the May 10th, 2014 dedication of the new Caltrain station and grade separation, there was comments made by members of the community about wanting to see some art grace the new area around Posey Park and the fountain, and also some suggestions that quite possibly the Centennial Art Project might be something to consider. Staff took those comments, and actually simultaneously the Commission had the new Posey Park on their agenda, coincidentally, to talk about that canvas that the fountain presented. So staff came to the meeting on May 15th with this community input, and the Commission began to discuss the possibilities of what to do at that site, including the relocation of the Centennial Art Project. At their June 19th meeting last week, they continued the discussion. This time the artist was present, and they discussed the idea of relocating the project. The artist was very enthusiastic about this idea. Primarily, it's a much more visible location for foot traffic and for car traffic, given the new train station, and also due to the special nature of the project commemorating the city's centennial, there was a lot of interest in choosing Posey Park as the focus for that project. The artist did inform the Commission that, of course, changing the site would require some additional work to basically recompose the project. She would use the initial elements that were approved in the original design concept, but she would need to do some work in order to figure out how to place them in the new location. The Commission, after this discussion, they did vote unanimously to recommend this relocation of the project to Posey Park, with the understanding that they would also develop a recommendation in the near future to deliver a project for the Sneath Lane site, as well, as that is an area they are also interested in improving. In terms of the fiscal impact of their recommendation, the contract with the artist originally was $75,000 that was awarded. The additional work to recompose the project is $6,400, which would bring the total project cost to $81,400. Right now, the balance in the City Art Fund is approximately $157,000. If the relocation is approved, and once this and other budgeted items are accounted for in the Commission's work plan for this year, the available balance for future projects would stand at $68,000. So we're here tonight to seek your approval of that recommendation, and of course to answer any questions that you might have.
Great. Any questions? I think it's a great idea. It'll get a lot more exposure, and I look forward to it. So, anyone else? Ken?
Is there any visuals? How, did the commission make a decision placing the murals at least, in a model form or, in a photo form on, at the site?
The artist has been given elevation plans, site plans for the location. She is currently looking at them and will be designing a visual for the new location, which, if it's the council's interest, we would bring back for their reviewing.
So what are we approving tonight? We're approving to,
You're approving two things. One would be the relocation from Sneath Lane to Posey Park, and the change order for the $6,400 additional cost to recompose the project.
okay, I guess this is my fault for not going out there and trying to put that mural that I had visualized well on Sneath Lane and now placing it in a different spot. It might fit perfectly fine, but, to not have done that, I don't know what it's going to look like. And I'm surprised that there wasn't at least some indication that, how it would fit in, so.
Tammy?
Am I on?
You're on.
Okay. I know this might be a little frustrating without that visual, but we're under a time constraint and trying to get it done in time. So we just felt that we could come to you and ask for your support, perhaps a little bit of faith in the project being moved to a better location, more visible location. And I, for one, am so in love with the grade separation and how it looks. I can't tell you, I was born in San Bruno a number of years ago.
Just a few.
And it's amazing. And the gateway to the city, both coming and going, I think is fantastic. So that being said, we thought we'd come to you as soon as we possibly could, and the artist is doing a visual for us. So I would say that we're asking for a little bit of faith on your part, if that helps.
Irene?
I just have a couple of questions, first of all, do we need any permission from Caltrain?
No.
Okay, good.
There is an issue that we need to work out, that I don't know the answer to, and that is the methodology by which the project, which is ours, will be fully turned over to us from the construction contractor, which is the case with any construction project. The contractor essentially controls the premises for some period of time. But that Posey Park was always intended to be given that it was a relocated feature from another location that the city owned and controlled. Has always been intended as part of this construction project to be uniquely a piece of city property.
Okay, that's great. And then the follow-up question was, what is that going to do to your timeline? But it may be premature to ask that question, so I'll just hold on to it, unless you know.
We met, John and I met with the artist on site Friday, and she's on target, on schedule, and ready to deliver maybe even a little bit early in mid-October. The other point that we wanted to highlight is we're really disappointed in the fact that the Sneath Lane project, we weren't going to be able to light it. They met with the lighting contractors. We couldn't light it from above because of the dangers that it would cause for cars, and we wanted to light it from below, and that wasn't going to be possible either. So we were really going to have to scramble and come up with some changes for the Sneath Lane project anyhow. This seemed to be logical, make more sense, And really what we're just asking for your approval is to approve the concept of moving it to Posey Park at this time. And we promise you that we will work out all the details. We think the community will be really proud of what we produce, and it will absolutely be done by the Centennial dedication. And lastly, on the stairs on the way up to the platform, we're going to be able to put in the Centennial emblem. So it'll truly be a Centennial dedication that everybody will be able to visually, immediately connect with.
Thank you.
Anything else? Action by the council? Ken?
Well, and this is not going to come out right. It's just not. And when, you know, someone I know and care for is telling me to have faith, and, you know, and we just cut a ribbon on a project that we've been working on for 12 years, and the excuse is that we've got a timing issue. And I really don't know how this is going to look. And I want to, with all my heart, believe you that it's going to fit in and it's going to look right. But, I mean, I'm a decision maker that needs to have almost, and, I mean, to make a decision tonight, I can't. And I have a feeling that my colleagues, you know, have more confidence in it. And so I just need to, you know, express my concern that this is not comfortable for me to, you know, to do it in this fashion.
If I could just add to that, I happened to be at the Culture and Arts meeting the other night because I'm the city liaison to that. And the artist was visibly excited about this, very excited about how it was going to look, how much more exposure it was going to get, and how nice the new venue would be, if that's any indication. I think we have to have a little artistic license here and leave it to the people that are actually going to apply it. It's not, you know, it's not a piece of concrete. It's not a sidewalk. It's not a paver. It's something that the artist, I think, will have to tweak kind of as she goes along. So, you know, she was there, and I was concerned about her take on it, and boy, she was all over it. Very, very excited. Even though she said it's going to cost a little more, I have to do a little modification to make sure, you know, things fit correctly and visually, size-wise, it fits. But if that's any help to you, Ken, at all, it was very good experience to hear it from the artist without any hesitation or any question at all.
I don't want to be on record on being against this project, and so I am going to cross my fingers. I'm going to go out there first thing in the morning tomorrow, and hopefully email me where the placement is, because I really want to embrace it. And I really want to know that it's, you know, that it's a fit. And so, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for making me feel guilty.
Anyone else?
Through the chair, I would think for all of us, we'd like to have information. You know, we try to do our homework. I do believe that I know that you've gone out there, you've talked about it at the meeting. You have the artist who can visualize that and already has validated that by your on-site visit. I would say anything that visually can be given to the council in an expedited manner should be done so. Gosh knows this is, as Mr. Lita said, was for us to give the okay for the concept of it being moved, which some residents, as we know up there, thought that the placement of that, as far as trying to really get a good visual of it, was it going to be detraction on safety? You can't really stand on that side of the street. Addresses those. It does have, when we were all there at the ribbon cutting, I mean, we ourselves looked there and said, we need something here. So I think that, I guess I've always told people never lose hope and always keep the faith, and I'm going to do that. And I know that everybody's been working very hard and very diligent to bring it to where it was, and I believe you can make that happen to where you wish it to go.
Thank you.
Is that a motion?
And with that said, I'd like to introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Salazar.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all your hard work on this. It's
Mayor Ruane, if
Yes.
If I might insert just for a moment, I was conferring with staff, and we will certainly return to the city council in the formal setting of the city council meeting at the earliest opportunity that the artist has had to prepare a visual. We can circulate that to the city council as well as soon as it's ready. We're currently anticipating that we may be in a position to give you an update and a visual by the July 22nd city council meeting. I know that sounds like a long time away, but we want to make sure that we have something substantial and worth being able to actually give you the visual that you're looking for and the ability to support the decision that you've already made. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Through the chair?
Michael?
Can I ask what the expected timeline is for the beginning of the installation of the project?
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, we anticipate, based on the revised schedule, that installation could be completed by the end of November. Certainly by the December 23rd centennial, and the dedication well before that.
Thank you.
Okay, great.